I'm really grateful for being invited to be on this platform. And I think one of the things that is really close to home is because I always regard myself as a home girl. I grew up in a place called Warri in Nigeria, and I know that a lot of people would actually resonate with the fact that I say I grew up there. There's something that we always say that I always say in all the conferences that I go. Is a saying that says, worry no they carry last, which represents the fact that if you grew up in that space, you would always move with resilience. And I think that has been one of the things that both Preeti and Prof has been speaking about since we started this conference. In fact, I think they've been describing me and my journey because I could pick myself in there. And so one of the things that I'm really passionate about and I'm grateful for is the fact that we have this opportunity to share our own story and to encourage people. And I'm going to be talking very quickly about representation. Because if you noticed, what Prof and Preeti have been talking about is, oh, we are ladies working in a male-dominated environment. And I guess what would be the questions that would be in the minds of, especially girls that are in secondary school, is how do I break through? How do I see myself in these stages? And one of the things I would try to actually share with you is that it's not rocket science and there is no need to be afraid. Because when you see people like us, people like Prof, people like Preeti, and then the other speakers that are going to come, standing in world stages, you can say, if they can do it, then I can also do it. The main thing is dreaming and not stop dreaming. There have been so many people who have broken through, even from Nigeria, into the world stage. And while I was preparing to share my own story, I came across multiple people who have actually exerted themselves in this industry, even at a very, very young age. One example is someone called Emanuela Mayaki. She's from Nigeria, and she started her own tech journey at age 7. She mastered a lot of coding languages like Python and Java. And when she relocated to the UK because her family moved to the UK, quite quickly in secondary school, they identified that she could code. And immediately, because they found out that she could code, what did they do? They gave her opportunity to start training her classmates who were 10 years old at that time, to start organizing after school clubs for them. And she started training her classmates. She learns a little and she shares the knowledge. And that quickly made Mayaki a CEO very, very early in her stage. So currently, she's one of the youngest CEO in the UK, well recognized and well noted. Another person is a young lady called Tomisi Ogunnobi. She's also from Nigeria, started coding very, very early. In fact, Tomisi's story was that she developed an app, simple app using Google Maps. And what that app does is that it helps children who have the ability to have phones, right, to be able to trace their way back home if, for instance, they are lost. And that quickly spiraled into an app that was adopted by Google. And she's from Nigeria, from somewhere that probably you will say, oh, it's not yet time. I don't have that exposure. Another example is someone called Anna Marie Emafidon. If you Google who are the smartest family in Europe, the Emafidon family would be up there because they've actually achieved quite a lot academically. Anna Marie, I've had the opportunity to kind of have a one-to-one with her in a tech a conference, and she happened to be from my alma mater. She had her master's from Oxford University at age 20, although I didn't have my master's at age 20 from there, but at least. And she's quite an impressionable person. You could see the passion that she has, and she has impacted over 60,000 young people through her STEM initiative across Europe. That's an example. And all these ladies that have talked about are all child proteges that started from something small and now became huge global success. There are other trailblazers. There's someone called Bethany Desi. She's from Ethiopia. There's another lady, Somaya Farouk, who's from Afghanistan. Sophia Ungali from the US, and many, many, many others that are making impact. I think representation is quite key for us. And you don't have to wait for the big thing. You can actually start small. One other thing that I want to say, the position that I'm in now, I kind of collaborate with teams all across the world. And sometimes when I'm in a normal team meeting, I would just see like multiple guys all over the place and just my little dreadlocked hair in the middle there. And that kind of pushes me to say we really need to do more to get ladies into technology because we are really, really needed there. So I think all the stories should inspire you to say you can start from somewhere. And like Prof and Pretty has already said, technology is not all about coding. I kind of cracked the joke that I've spent more than 20 years in technology, and sometimes I think like a machine. We need human beings in technology who can actually translate the information, technical information, to more assimilated information for everybody to be able to understand. And that can be you. It can be you. Apart from representation, when we have representation, it sparks belief, it sparks hope, it sparks inspiration. And with that, you can source out mentorship. So I'm going to really talk about the power of mentorship, right? Because mentorship will be the one that would fan the spark that you've already gotten if you see yourself leading that pathway for representation. And in all honesty, you can have mentors that you watch from afar. You can have mentors that you have one-on-one relationship with. And then also you can have mentorship schemes that are free and they are online. Just putting in a little type into Google to say, what are the free mentorship uh, um, resources that I can have in my local, my local area or internationally? You would find quite a lot. And mentorship now is not only for advanced people. You have mentorship that is for ages 8 to 18. For example, and I'm going to share a list if probably the organizers can share it with you guys later on. There is something called Technovation Girls. It's a free global platform where you can actually apply to have mentors mentor you. It's really aligned with so many United Nations initiatives, and you don't really require an experience. And Technovation covers for ages 8 to 18. There are so many. There's one called Built by Girls, which is another mentorship scheme that you can go to. And then also Tech4Her, you know. I mean, Noel is doing a lot of work to be able to get people exposed into all these things. For me, myself, I have my own mentors. I have the ones that I look at from afar, a lady called Fifi Lee. And that's more because I am into the cybersecurity and artificial intelligence space. And so I'm looking up to, they call her the mother of AI because she's done a lot of algorithms that have helped the modern AI that we have now. I follow her constantly on LinkedIn or her YouTube page just to keep that inspiration. And then I have personal ones that I've gotten like, one-to-one relationship with a lady called Renee Hunt, who is the former chief technology officer for Compare the Market. So you keep in touch with people like that, people who inspire you to grow. And there are other additional communities and resources that you can actually plug yourself in. The main thing is don't be stagnant. Look out for these opportunities and use them. And then another thing is, how do you find a role model or how do you be a role model? because we don't have a lot of this there. So you can actually be a role model, and it doesn't have to be stemmed by age. If, for instance, you decide to move into some area of technology and you're reading about it, you're learning about it, you can even start up your own group, a little WhatsApp group with your friends. You sharing what you're learning as you're going makes you a role model. I think the key thing about increasing the representation that we need in this industry is sharing knowledge, being there to be able to advance all the things that we're learning. And as we're doing that, we're also learning, you know. So I think from my own point of view, and the things that have actually helped me in the time past is always being current with the things that you want to do. Again, I would repeat it. Tech is not only writing codes. I think tech, being passionate about tech and you being able to talk about what you are passionate about is also a way to make yourself a technology thought leader. Representation, like I said, would ignite the possibilities. Mentorship would nurture the growth. And sharing what we learn would help us continue to build our own energy and also pull people along and lift others like us as we grow in our space. So I'm going to end by giving you a call for action, right? You look for stories that would inspire you. When you are going, you have opportunity to be on your tablet, on your mobile phone, look for stories of tech ladies to inspire you. And then after that, try and make sure that you find yourself platforms, especially the free ones, because I know money is not easy to come by. And then plug yourself into that space. And I tell you, as you learn, share that information. Set up an opportunity for you to be a role model. Document your journey as you are climbing in this space. And as you're doing that, you're building yourself to not only be a tech talk leader, but also be good at what it is that you do and help to empower people. I want you all, including myself, including everybody that is watching this, to continuously be inspired and also be an inspiration for the next person. Because with that, we'll make the world a better place through technology. Thank you for listening.
Okay. A round of applause for Felicia. A round of applause. As always, as always, I've been taking notes. I've been taking notes. I've been writing and writing and writing. A few things that I took away from Felicia's presentation. I took away so much, but I'm not just going to read everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, she said that what matters in tech is not just about dreaming. It's also about doing what? You need to stop dreaming and begin and to start acting.
Yeah.
She talked about Mayaki, Toby, the Macedon girl, and Maria. You know, these are young people who are doing absolutely well in the world of technology. And this is to tell everybody here, all the young girls here, that it is possible. It's very important that we had to mention the names of people your age who are doing these things. So you don't look at Felicia and say, okay, I have to wait until I get to Felicia's age or I acquire the kind of level of experience she has acquired before I could imagine myself to become a mentor, a thought leader. These young girls are thought leaders in their own right. They are also mentors. They have platforms where they mentor young girls like you. And she mentioned some of the mentorship lists, like the Tech Innovation, the Build by Girls. She's going to give us a list of those platforms so that you too can get on those platforms. And of course, she is also a mentor. TechForHer is a mentorship platform for you. She mentioned the importance of sharing knowledge, you know, and she also told us that tech is not just about codes. There's a lot about tech than just coding. And I love some of the things she said here. She said that mentorship nurtures growth. So when you bring your passion to the table, and you have a mentor. By the way, she told us that you can have mentors who are at close proximity, and you can also have mentors who are distant from you. The most important thing is to have somebody who holds your hand and who you look up to for answers to questions. Somebody who has been there, done that, who is going to inspire you. And then sharing with others will also help to lift others up. I mean, what is success if you're not able to lift somebody else? What is success if you have to be the only one who is being applauded all the time?
Yeah.
Success is more interesting when you have many people succeeding because of you.
Yeah.
So if other people are succeeding because of you, then it means that you have also given birth to more superstars. And you're not going to be the only star shining in the clouds. You have given birth to other stars who are shining together with you. And I mean, you're going to light up the world even more brilliantly by doing that. So thank you so much, Felicia. Do we have any questions? Any questions, please? Questions, 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 questions. Okay. Um, Let me see how long we have for questions right now. Okay, we still have about 3 more minutes. We have about 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes for questions. 3 more minutes for questions, and then we go to the next speaker.
I think there's a question here. How did you start in cyber?
How, how in cyber? Yes,
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 how
this
did
one
I
just came through. Yes,
yeah,
please. How
yeah.
did you
So how
start?
did I start in cyber? Yeah. So I was just like a generalist in technology. I was a business analyst, just pulling together um system system documentation and stuff like that. And then I joined a company in the UK and immediately understood that I needed to upskill myself, right? And funny enough, I'm a big fan of CSI, which is a television program. Funny enough, right? And there was a particular episode that was about a cyber attack and stuff like that. And that intrigued me. And it opened up my curiosity. But I knew that I needed to do a little bit more. I have a background in mathematics and I needed to do a little bit more. So what I did was to check myself back into university. I went to do a master's at Oxford University. That's where I got my master's in software and system security. That gave me that opportunity. But I would say the first day I got into that place, of course, I was overwhelmed because I was still underrepresented. My kind of people were still underrepresented there. But that gave me an opportunity to really exert myself. And due to the exposure I got with my master's, I now kind of transitioned from a generalist technology person into cybersecurity and then mastered the area of governance, risk, and compliance. So I've been in technology for more than 20 years. I've not written a single line of code,
Nice.
right? I've not written a single line of code. I understand technology, architecture, the structure, and everything. I understand what codes does, but my own role is to make sure that I put things in place to make that code secure from a point of view of risk. So I think I was quite lucky, or I would use the word favored, to be in a position where I was able to identify that this is what I really like within technology and then put myself in a position where I can fine tune my already existing skills to be able to fit this new thing. And I've not stopped there. In recent times, with the advent of artificial intelligence, quantum computing, I've now moved from just the normal cyber into cybersecurity for emerging technology, which is a new area that we need more people in. So I think being very strategic about your direction and being also close to what is trending in the industry would also help. I hope I've answered the question.
Thank you so much for that answer, Felicia, somebody was asking if being good in mathematics and science would help in the tech world.
So I will tread carefully because I'm a mathematician, right? I know that those things are needed. Um, in my experience, I think being a good communicator, being someone who is emotional intelligence is what the tech industry needs now, right? Because yes, having all those, there's something they call soft skills, and then there's something they call, like the acquired skills. Having being good in mathematics, yeah, it's good. But there are other areas like I've mentored someone who was a lawyer, well-trained lawyer, from being just a normal lawyer who is looking at cases and everything into a technology-based lawyer. And she's talking tech, not having tech as a background before, but she's talking tech because tech is controlled by regulations. So I think my what I advocate for is do exactly what you feel comfortable, passionate, and what you love at uni, and find where that particular thing that you love or what you want to do, blah, 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 can move into technology, because I think technology has moved from the hardcore technical stage into a cross-functioning industry. That's my personal opinion anyway.